Hi everyone, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and in today's Vlogmas I am going to be sewing a nice little Christmassy pattern with this floss that I dyed in day 9. Now the pattern I'm going to do today is this one from Doreen Jones. This is one of her free charts from her Facebook page. She's got loads of amazing patterns on Facebook and in her Etsy shop as well. Now this pattern, this mermaid, is actually the very first floss I ever dyed. So I'm hoping that to turn this piece of fabric and just fill it with lots of different patterns from floss that I've dyed. But I'm going to ignore the little mermaid today. I have started this pattern already. I cut this in half and then took 2 threads out of it, because this is, if we show you, this is 6-stranded floss. So this floss is made with 6 strands. There are 6 strands there, I promise you. So I've taken 2 strands out of that for this. And now normally what I would do with cross stitching is I would go all direction, I'd go in one direction for the whole colour section and then go back on myself in the other way. But because this is variegated floss, I don't particularly want green crossing the red. I don't think that'll look particularly good. So I'm doing full X's as we go along. So now I'm just starting on the lettering in the S. Where's my pencil? I need a pencil to keep track of where what I've sewn. And I like to use this little ring just to keep the fabric nice and tight. If the fabric's nice and tight, it makes it so much easier for me to actually sew. So I'm doing full crosses. I'm always making sure that the crosses go the same way. So I go, so you can see, that's the way I do my first part of the cross, from top right to bottom left. And then I go top left to bottom right. And that way it just keeps all of the crosses just going in the same direction, and it makes it just a little bit neater. And there's the S. If we look at the back, it's not the neatest, but I'm not too worried about the back. No one's going to see the back, so we're just going to look at the front. Now I'm going to carry on with the rest of Merry Christmas. I've got this far, and this is all the floss that I have left of that Christmassy colourway. Now I could leave it like this because I think it looks quite nice, but I would like to do those extra trees. I don't know about the snowflakes. I may do them. I haven't decided yet. So I thought I would do the extra bits in this floss. Now, I don't know when I dyed these. I've looked through all my videos and I can't figure out which video they're from. They're just little scraps. There's 3 lengths of scraps here. And it looks to me like they were probably dyed with Wedgwood Blue or Mum Jeans, which are fibre reactive dyes from Dyer. I don't know. If you recognise these from any of my videos, please let me know which one it's from, because I can't figure it out. So these are, again, 6-stranded pieces of cotton floss. So I'm going to just remove 2 strands, like I have done with this. I expect there is a much easier way of separating your floss, but this is the way I have done it my whole life. So I've got 2 strands here now, and I'm going to use that to start sewing these extra Christmas trees. Just finishing off the last couple of stitches on this last tree. I love how this looks. I'm really happy with this. There we go. Done. Now I know in this pattern it's got all these it's got the snowflakes, but I honestly don't think this needs it. I love this how it is now. And my big worry about all these extra stitches is that there'll be a lot of crossing the floss on the back of the fabric. And because not every square is used, you might be able to see pops of the floss come through. A little bit like here. I don't know how clear it is. I can probably only see it because I know it is there and I'm looking for it. But I went from that stitch to that stitch, and so there's a line of red thread there, and you can just about see it come through those little holes. As I said, I can probably only see it because I know it's there and I'm looking for it. But there is a lot of these stitches, they're just single stitches, and I don't want to have to tie the threads, keep knotting the threads on and off, because that will just make it really, really lumpy at the back. So this is it. I'm really happy with this. Now I'm going to go, well, first things first, I need to tie this off at the back. And then I can just go and give this a little iron so that it's nice and flat, even though this will probably sit in my sewing bag for goodness knows how long. Be nice to have it finished off, even if it's just for a little while. And there still is some of this floss left. Not much, there wasn't much to begin with. I've probably used about half of this floss that I had. And there we have it, our finished ironed cross stitch. Now, I've ironed this whole thing. There's still crease marks in this. This has been folded up for nearly 20 years now. It was my grandma's, and she died, I think it was about 16 years ago. And she didn't do many crafts in her final years. So this has been sitting folded up for probably, yeah, nearly 20 years. And actually, if you have a close look at this little section, you can see there's been needles stuck in here, and some of them have started rusting. They've been sitting in there for 20 years, and they've started rusting. So I'm going to have to sew some sort of little motif over that. But I'm so happy with this. I ironed this in between 2 clean tea towels. Now I know a lot of cross stitchers like to wash their cross stitch after they finished. I'm not one of those. If I get a mark on my fabric, I like to try and wash just that little section of fabric when I notice the mark. I don't particularly want to wash this because I've put so much effort into this, and I don't want any of these colours to bleed, because reds can bleed. Even you buy a commercially dyed red sweatshirt or something, you're not going to put that in the wash with white t-shirts, because you're very likely to end up with pink t-shirts. And the same thing will happen with this. This is a nice cream fabric. If I wash it, the red, I don't trust the reds not to bleed and leave a little halo. Now I know I dyed these and I got the water as clean as possible, but there is always that risk, particularly with hand dyed flosses and yarns, that there could be a little bit of bleeding, and again, particularly with reds. So my advice with this is just to leave it. If you get a spot of something on it, try and sew over it, or just wash that little spot. That's all I'm saying. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Vlogmas. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on so you don't miss any new videos, and tune in tomorrow for another episode of Vlogmas. Thank you so much for watching.